Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome back to the daily readings of Srila Prabhupada's books. He wrote a lot of books, but the one we're reading now is the Srimad-Bhagavatam, which is his magnum opus and the Summum Bonum. You know what Summum Bonum means? The ultimate good. Summum Bonum. Srimad-Bhagavatam is the ultimate exposition of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the absolute truth, the source of all, the cause of all causes, the source of everything. So by hearing this book, verse by verse, chapter by chapter, canto by canto, we become intimate associates of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We find out who God is. We find out, if we're fortunate, really fortunate, who we are in relationship with Krishna. Everything is revealed through the Srimad-Bhagavatam. Okay, Sanatana Goswami, we offer this prayer every day. He is the senior disciple of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who brought the Srimad-Bhagavatam in the most potent form. Well, it can't be more potent, but through his mouth means the most potent form. And it goes like this. Sarva Shastabdipi Yusha Sarva Vaidaka Satpala Sarva Siddhanta Ratnaja Sarva Lokaika Drikprada. O nectar from the ocean of all scriptures, singular fruit of all the Vedas, rich mine of the precious gems of all conclusive truths, you are the only giver of sight to all the worlds. Sarva Bhagavata Prana Srimad Bhagavata Prabho Kalidvanduditaditya Shri Krishna Parivartita. O life air of all the Supreme Lord's devotees, O Master Srimad Bhagavatam, you are the sun risen in the darkness of Kali. You are the exact image of Sri Krishna. Paramananda Pataya Prema Varshakshadayate Sarvada Sarvasevyaya Shri Krishnaya Namostume. I bow down to you who are supremely blissful to read. Your every syllable pours down a flood of prema. You can always be served by everyone. You are Sri Krishna himself. Madeka Bando Matsangin Madguro Man Mahadana Mannistam Mad Bhagya Mad Ananda Namostute. My only friend, my constant companion, my spiritual master, my great wealth, my savior, my good fortune, my source of ecstasy, I bow down to you. Asadu Saduta Dayin Ati Nicho Chata Kada Hanamuncha Gadachin Mam Prem Narit Kantayospura. O bestower of saintliness to the unsaintly, O exalter of the most fallen, please never leave me. Always appear in my heart and my voice with pure love. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 And what is the name of this chapter? Pray tell.
Krishna sees the universal, or Mother Yashoda sees the universal form.
Second shows.
What's the name of the chapter exactly?
Lord Krishna shows.
Lord Krishna shows the universal form. Okay. We're beginning with text 6. Krishna's getting serious here now. Not that he wasn't ever. My Lord. Sorry. My Lord, you are the best of the Brahmanas, especially because you were fully aware of the Jyoti Shastra, the astrological science. Therefore, you are naturally the spiritual master of every human being. This being so, since you have kindly come to my house, kindly execute the reformatory activities for my two sons. Purport. The Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 4.13, Chaturvarnyam maya shrishtam gunakarma vibhagashaha. The four varnas, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra, must be present in society. The Brahmanas are required for the guidance of the whole society. If there is no such institution as Varnashram Dharma, and if human society has no such guide as the Brahmana, human society will be hellish. In Kali Yuga, especially at the present moment, there is no such thing as a real Brahmana, and therefore society is in a chaotic condition. Formerly, there were qualified Brahmanas, but at present, although there are certainly persons who think themselves Brahmanas, they actually have no ability to guide society. The Krishna consciousness movement is therefore very much eager to reintroduce the Varnashram system into human society so that those who are bewildered or less intelligent will be able to take guidance from qualified Brahmanas. Brahmana means Vaishnava. After one becomes a Brahmana, the next stage of development in human society is to become a Vaishnava. People in general must be guided to the destination or goal of life, and therefore they must understand Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The whole system of Vedic knowledge is based on this principle. But people have lost the clue. Nate vidu swartagatim hi Vishnum. And they are simply pursuing sense gratification with the risk of gliding down to a lower grade of life, mrityu, samsara, vartmani. It doesn't matter whether one is born a Brahmana or not. No one is born a Brahmana. Everyone is born a Shudra. But by the guidance of a Brahmana and by samskara, one can become Dvija, twice born, and then gradually become a Brahmana. Brahmanism is not a system meant to create a monopoly for a particular class of men. Regardless of whether one is born in a Brahmana family, a Kshatriya family, or a Shudra family, one may be guided by a proper Brahmana and be promoted to the highest platform of being a Vaishnava. Thus, the Krishna consciousness movement affords an opportunity to develop the right destiny for human society. Nanda Maharaj took advantage of the opportunity of Garga Muni's presence by requesting him to perform the necessary reformatory activities for his sons, to guide them toward the destination of life. Text 7. Garga Muni said, "My dear Nanda Maharaj, I am the priestly guide of the Yadu dynasty. This is known everywhere. Therefore, if I perform the purificatory process for your sons, Kamsa will consider them the sons of Devaki." Purport. Garga Muni indirectly disclosed that Krishna was the son of Devaki, not of Yashoda. Since Kamsa was already searching for Krishna, if the purificatory process were undertaken by Garga Muni, Kamsa might be informed, and that would create a catastrophe. It may be argued that although Garga Muni was the priest of the Yadu dynasty, Nanda Maharaj also belonged to that dynasty. Nanda Maharaj, however, was not acting as a Kshatriya. Therefore, Garga Muni said, "If I act as your priest, this will confirm that Krishna is the son of Devaki." Text 8 and 9. Kamsa is both a great diplomat and a very sinful man. Therefore, having heard from Yogamaya, the daughter of Devaki, that the child who will kill him has already been born somewhere else, having heard that the 8th pregnancy of Devaki could not bring forth a female child, and having understood your friendship with Vasudev, Kamsa, upon hearing that the purificatory process has been performed by me, the priest of the Yadu dynasty, may certainly consider all these points and suspect that Krishna is the son of Devaki and Vasudeva. Then he might take steps to kill Krishna. That would be a catastrophe. Purport. Kamsa knew very well that Yogamaya was, after all, the maidservant of Krishna and Vishnu, and that although Yogamaya had appeared as the daughter of Devaki, she might have been forbidden to disclose this fact. Actually, this was what happened. Gargamuni argued very soberly that his taking part in performing the reformatory process for Krishna would give rise to many doubts, so that Kamsa might take severe steps to kill the child. Kamsa had already sent many demons to attempt to kill this child, but none of them had survived. If Gargamuni was to perform the purificatory process, Kamsa's suspicions would be fully confirmed, and he would take very severe steps. Gargamuni gave this warning to Nanda Maharaj. Text 10. So this is one of the reasons that Krishna actually didn't come back to Vrindavan after he left, because he knew that the demons that were really after him, big guys, Jasanda, Shalva, and all these people, they would go and attack Braj. So he would want to protect the Brajvasis. Nanda Maharaj said, my dear great sage, if you think that your performing this process of purification will make Kamsa suspicious, then secretly chant the Vedic hymns and perform the purifying process of second birth here in the cowshed of my house, without the knowledge of anyone else, even my relatives, for this process of purification is essential. Purport. Nanda Maharaj did not like the idea of avoiding the purificatory process. Despite the many obstacles, he wanted to take advantage of Gargamuni's presence and do what was needed. The purificatory process is essential, specifically for Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, and Vaishyas. Therefore, since Nanda Maharaj presented himself as a Vaishya, this process of purification was essential. Formerly, such institutional activities were compulsory. Chaturvarnya maya shrishtam gunakarma vibhagashaha. Bhagavad Gita 4:13. Without these activities of purification, the society would be considered a society of animals. To take advantage of Gargamuni's presence, Nanda Maharaj wanted to perform the Namakarana ceremonies secretly, without any gorgeous arrangements. Therefore, the opportunity for purification should be regarded as the essential duty of human society. In Kali Yuga, however, people have forgotten the essence. Mandat, sumanda matayo, manda bhagya, upadrutaha. Bhagavatam 1:110. In this age, people are all bad and unfortunate, and they do not accept Vedic instructions to make their life successful. Nanda Maharaj, however, did not want to neglect anything. To keep intact a happy society advanced in spiritual knowledge, he took full advantage of Gargamuni's presence to do what was necessary. How degraded society has become within 5,000 years. Manda, sumanda matayo, manda bhagya. The human life is obtained after many, many millions of births, and it is intended for purification. Previously, a father was eager to give all kinds of help to elevate his children, but at present, because of being misguided, people are prepared even to kill to avoid the responsibility of raising children. Text 11. Shukadev Goswami continued, Having thus been especially requested by Nanda Maharaj to do that which he already desired to do, Garga Muni performed the name-giving ceremony for Krishna and Balarama in a solitary place. 12. Garga Muni said, "This child, the son of Rohini, will give all happiness to his relatives and friends by his transcendental qualities. Therefore he will be known as Rama. And because he will manifest extraordinary bodily strength, he will also be known as Bala. Moreover, because he unites two families, Vasudev's family and the family of Nanda Maharaj, he will be known as Sankarshan." Purport. Baladeva was actually the son of Devaki, but he was transferred from Devaki's womb to that of Rohini. This fact was not disclosed. According to a statement in the Harivangsha, Vishnu Parva 46.7, Pratyubad chattato rama sarvang stan abhitak stitang yadavesha pisarvishu bhavanto mamabalabaha. Garga Muni did disclose to Nanda Maharaj that Balarama would be known as Sankarsana because of uniting two families, the Yadu Vangsha and the Vangsha of Nanda Maharaj, one of which was known as Kshatriya and the other as Vaishya. Both families had the same original forefather, the only difference being that Nanda Maharaj was born of a Vaishya wife, whereas Vasudeva was born of a Kshatriya wife. Later, Nanda Maharaj married a Vaishya wife, and Vasudeva married a Kshatriya wife. So although the families of Nanda Maharaj and Vasudeva both came from the same father, they were divided as Kshatriya and Vaishya. Now Baladev united them, and therefore he was known as Sankarshan. Text 13. Your son Krishna appears as an incarnation in every millennium. In the past, he assumed 3 different colors, white, red, and yellow. And now he has appeared in a blackish color. In another Dwapara Yuga, he appeared as Lord Ramachandra in the color of a shuka, parrot. All such incarnations have now assembled in Krishna. Purport. Partially explaining the position of Lord Krishna and partially covering the facts, Garga Muni indicated, your son is a great personality and he can change the color of his body in different ages. The word Grinata indicates that Krishna is free to make his choice. In other words, he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and may therefore do whatever he desires. In Vedic literature, the different colors assumed by the personality of Godhead in different millenniums are stated, and therefore when Garga Muni said, your son has assumed these colors, he indirectly said, he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Because of Kamsa's atrocities, Garga Muni tried to avoid disclosing this fact, but he indirectly informed Nanda Maharaj that Krishna, his son, was the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It may be noted that Srila Jiva Goswami, in his book Krama Sandarbha, has enunciated the purport of this verse. In every millennium, Krishna appears in a different form, either as white, yellow, or red, but this time he personally appeared in his original blackish form, and as predicted by Garga Muni, exhibited the power of Narayana. Because in this form, the Supreme Personality of Godhead exhibits himself fully, his name is Sri Krishna, the all-attractive. Factually, Krishna is the source of all avatars, and therefore all the different features of the different avatars are present in Krishna. When Krishna incarnates, all the features of other incarnations are already present within him. Other incarnations are partial representations of Krishna, who is the full-fledged incarnation of the Supreme Being. It is to be understood that the Supreme Being, whether appearing as Shukla, Rakta, or Pita, white, red, or yellow, is the same person. When he appears in different incarnations, he appears in different colors, just like the sunshine, which contains 7 colors. Sometimes the colors of sunshine are represented separately. Otherwise, the sunshine is observed mainly as bright light. The different avatars, such as the Manvantara avatars, Lila avatars, and Dasha avatars, are all included in the Krishna avatar. When Krishna appears, all the avatars appear with him. As described in Srimad-Bhagavatam 1.3.26, Avatara yasankyeya hare sattva nider dvijaha yata vidang shinak goyak sadasak syu sahasrashaha. The avatars incessantly appear, like incessantly flowing water. No one can count how many waves there are in flowing water, and similarly, there is no limitation of the avatars. And Krishna is the full representation of all avatars, because he is the source of all avatars. Krishna is Angshi, whereas others are Angsha, part of Krishna. All living entities, including us, are Angshas. Mamai Bangsho, Jivaloke, Jivabhuta, Sanatanaha. These Angshas are of different magnitude. Living beings who are minute Angshas, and the demigods, Vishnu Tattva, and all of the living beings are all part of the Supreme. Nityo Nityanam, Chaitanas Chaitananam, Kata Upanishad 2.2.13. Krishna is the full representation of all living entities, and when Krishna is present, all avatars are included in him. The 11th canto of Srimad-Bhagavatam describes the incarnations for each yuga in chronological order. The Bhagavatam says, Krite Shuklash Chaturbahu Tretayam Raktavarnosau Dwapade Bhagavan Shamak and Krishna Varnam Tvisha Krishnam. Bhagavatam 11.5.32. We actually see that in Kali Yuga, Bhagavan has appeared in Pita Varna, or a yellow color, as Gaurasundar, although the Bhagavatam speaks of Krishna Varnam. To adjust all these statements, one should understand that although in some yugas, some of the colors are prominent, in every yuga, whenever Krishna appears, all the colors are present. Krishna Varnam Tvisha Krishnam. Although Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appears without Krishna or blackish color, he is understood to be Krishna himself. Idanim Krishnatam Gata. The same original Krishna. The same original Krishna, who appears in different varnas, has now appeared. The word asan indicates that he is always present. Whenever the Supreme Personality of Godhead appears in his full feature, he is understood to be Krishna Varnam, although he appears in different colors. Prahlad Maharaj states that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Chana. That is, although he is Krishna, he is covered by a yellow color. Thus the Gaudiya Vaishnavas accept the conclusion that although Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in Pita color, he is Krishna. Krishna Varnam Tvisha Krishnam Sangopangas Parshadam Jagyai Sankirtana Prayayar Yajanti Hi Sumedasaha. Text 14. For many reasons, this beautiful son of yours sometimes appeared previously as the son of Vasudeva. Therefore, those who are learned sometimes call this child Vasudeva. Purport. Gargamuni indirectly disclosed, this child was originally born as the son of Vasudeva, and although he is acting as your child, generally he is your child, but sometimes he is the son of Vasudeva. He's sort of tricky. Text 15. For this son of yours, there are many forms and names according to his transcendental qualities and activities. These are known to me, but people in general do not understand them. Purport. Bahuni, the Lord has many names. Advaitam Achyutam Anadam Ananta Rupam Adyam Purana Purusham Navayovanam Cha. As stated in the Brahma Samhita 533, the Lord is one, but he has many forms and many names. It was not that because Gargamuni gave the child the name Krishna, that was his only name. He has other names, such as Bhaktavatsala, Giridhari, Govinda, and Gopal. If we analyze the nirukti, or semantic derivation of the word Krishna, we find that Na signifies that he stops the repetition of birth and death. And Krish means satartha, or existence. Krishna is the whole of existence. Also, Krish means attraction, and Na means ananda, or bliss. Krishna is known as Mukunda because he wants to give everyone spiritual, eternal, blissful life. Unfortunately, because of the living entity's little independence, the living entity wants to deprogram the program of Krishna. This is the material disease. Nonetheless, because Krishna wants to give transcendental bliss to the living entities, he appears in various forms. Therefore, he is called Krishna. Because Gargamuni was an astrologer, he knew what others did not know. Yet Krishna has so many names that even Gargamuni did not know them all. It is to be concluded that Krishna, according to his transcendental activities, has many names and many forms. Text 16. To increase the transcendental bliss of the cowherd men of Gokula, this child will always act auspiciously for you, and by his grace only, you will surpass all difficulties. Purport. For the cowherd men and the cows, Krishna is the supreme friend. Therefore, he is worshipped by the prayer, Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmani Hitaya Cha. His pastimes in Gokula, his dhamma, are always favorable to the brahmanas and the cows. His first business is to give all comfort to the cows and the brahmanas. In fact, comfort for the brahmanas is secondary, and comfort for the cows is his first concern. Because of his presence, all people would overcome all difficulties and always be situated in transcendental bliss. Text 17. O Nanda Maharaj, as recorded in history, when there was an irregular, incapable government, Indra having been dethroned, and people were being harassed and disturbed by thieves, this child appeared in order to protect the people and enable them to flourish, and he curbed the rogues and thieves. Purport. Indra is the king of the universe. Demons, thieves, and rogues always disturb Indra. Indrari vyakulam lokam. But when Indraris, the enemies of Indra, become prominent, Krishna appears. Krishna's tu Bhagavan Swayam. Indrari Vyakulam Lokam Mridayanti Yuge Yuge. Bhagavatam 1:3-28. Text 18. Demons, asuras, cannot harm the demigods, who always have Lord Vishnu on their side. Similarly, any person or group attached to Krishna is extremely fortunate. Because such persons are very much affectionate toward Krishna, they cannot be defeated by demons like the associates of Kamsa, or by the internal enemies, the senses. Text 17. In conclusion, therefore, 17? Or 19, sorry. In conclusion, therefore, O Nanda Maharaj, this child of yours is as good as Narayana. In his transcendental qualities, opulences, name, fame, and influence, he is exactly like Narayana. You should all raise this child very carefully and cautiously. Looks like Krishna's going to raise them cautiously and carefully. Purport. In this verse, the word Narayana Sama is significant. Narayana has no equal. He is asamurdva. No one is equal to him, and no one is greater than he is. As stated in Shastra, Yastu Narayanam Devam Brahmarudradi Daivataihi Samatmenai Viviksheta Sapashandi Bhavedrubam. One who equates Narayana even with great exalted demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma is a Pashandi, an agnostic. No one can equal Narayana. Nonetheless, Gargamuni used the word Sama, meaning equal, because he wanted to treat Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead who would become Nanda Maharaj's son. Gargamuni wanted to impress upon the mind of Nanda Maharaj, your worshipable deity, Narayana, is so pleased with you that he has sent you a son almost equal to him in qualifications. Therefore, you may designate your son with a similar name, such as Mukunda or Madhusudana. But you must always remember that whenever you want to do something very good, there will be many hindrances. Therefore, you should raise and protect this child with great care. If you can protect this child very cautiously, as Narayana always protects you, the child will be as good as Narayana. Gargamuni also indicated that although the child was exaltedly qualified like Narayana, he would enjoy more than Narayana as Rasavihari, the central enjoyer of the rasa dance. As stated in the Brahma Samhita, Lakshmi Sahasra Shatasam Brahmasevyamanam. He would be served by many gopis who would all be as good as the goddess of fortune. Text 20. Srila Shukadeva Goswami continued. After Gargamuni, having instructed Nanda Maharaj about Krishna, departed for his own home, Nanda Maharaj was very pleased and considered himself full of all good fortune. Purport. Krishna is the super soul, and Nanda Maharaj is the individual soul. By the instructions of Gargamuni, both of them were blessed. Nanda Maharaj was thinking of Krishna's safety from the hands of demons like Putana and Shakatasura, and because he possessed such a son, he thought of himself as most fortunate. Text 21. One Brahmana devotee says Shrutim apare smritim itare bharatam anye bhajantu bhavabhita. Aham iha nandam bande yasya lingde padam brahma. Let others, fearing material existence, worship the Vedas, the Vedic supplementary, Puranas, and the Mahabharata. But I shall worship Nanda Maharaj, in whose courtyard the Supreme Brahman is crawling. For a highly exalted devotee, Kaivalya, merging into the existence of the Supreme, appears no better than hell, Nadakayate. But here one can simply think of the crawling of Krishna and Balarama in the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj and always merge in transcendental happiness. As long as one is absorbed in thoughts of Krishna Lila, especially Krishna's childhood pastimes, as Parikshit Maharaj desired to be, one is always merged in actual Kaivalya. Therefore Vyasadeva compiled Srimad-Bhagavatam. Lokasya janato vidbangs chakre satpatasanitam. Bhagavatam 176. Vyasadeva compiled Srimad-Bhagavatam under the instructions of Narada, so that anyone could take advantage of this literature, think of Krishna's pastimes, and always be liberated. Shrutim apade smritim itare bharatam aye bhajantu bhavabhita. Aham hi nandam bande yasya linde padam brahma. Text 22. When Krishna and Balarama, with the strength of their legs, crawled in the muddy places created in Vraja by cow dung and cow urine, their crawling resembled the crawling of serpents, and the sound of their ankle bills was very charming. Very much pleased by the sound of other people's ankle bells, they used to follow these people as if going to their mothers. But when they saw that these were other people, they became afraid and returned to their real mothers, Yashoda and Rohini. Purport. When Krishna and Balarama were crawling about Brajabhumi, they were enchanted by the sound of ankle bells. Thus they sometimes followed other people who would enjoy the crawling of Krishna and Balarama and exclaim, "Oh, see how Krishna and Balarama are crawling." Upon hearing this, Krishna and Balarama could understand that these were not their mothers. They were following, and they would return. Upon hearing this, Krishna and Balarama could understand that these were not their mothers they were following, and they would return to their actual mothers. Thus the crawling of Krishna and Balarama was enjoyed by the people of the neighborhood as well as by Mother Yashoda and Rohini, and the two children themselves. Text 23. Dressed with muddy earth, mixed with cow dung and cow urine, the babies looked very beautiful. And when they went to their mothers, both Yashoda and Rohini picked them up with great affection, embraced them, and allowed them to suck the milk flowing from their breasts. While sucking the breast, the babies smiled, and their small teeth were visible. Their mothers, upon seeing those beautiful teeth, enjoyed great transcendental bliss. Purport. As the mothers cared for their respective babies, by the arrangement of Yogamaya, the babies thought, "Here is my mother," and the mothers thought, "Here is my son." Because of affection, milk naturally flowed from the mother's breasts, and the babies drank it. When the mothers saw small teeth coming in, they would count them and be happy. And when the babies saw their mothers allowing them to drink their breast milk, the babies also felt transcendental pleasure. As this transcendental affection continued between Rohini and Balarama and Yashoda and Krishna, they all enjoyed transcendental bliss. Text 24. Within the house of Nanda Maharaj, the cowherd ladies would enjoy seeing the pastimes of the babies, Rama and Krishna. The babies would catch the ends of the calves' tails, and the calves would drag them here and there. When the ladies saw these pastimes, they certainly stopped their household activities and laughed and enjoyed the incidents. Purport. While crawling in curiosity, Krishna and Balaram would sometimes catch the ends of the tails of calves. The calves, feeling that someone had caught them, would begin to flee here and there, and the babies would hold on very tightly, being afraid of how the calves were moving. The calves, seeing that the babies were holding them tightly, would also become afraid. Then the ladies would come to rescue the babies and gladly laugh. This was their enjoyment. Text 25. When Mother Yashoda and Rohini were unable to protect the babies from calamities threatened by horned cows, by fire, by animals with claws in their teeth, such as monkeys, dogs, and cats, and by thorns, swords, and other weapons on the ground, they were always in anxiety, and their household engagements were disturbed. At that time, they were fully equipoised in the transcendental ecstasy known as the distress of maternal affection. For this was aroused within their minds. Holy Krishna. Purport. All these pastimes of Krishna and the great enjoyment exhibited by the mothers are transcendental. Nothing about them is material. They are described in the Brahma Samhita as Ananda Chinmaya Rasa. In the spiritual world there is anxiety, there is crying, and there are other feelings similar to those of the material world. But because the reality of these feelings is in the transcendental world, of which this world is only an imitation, Mother Yashoda and Rohini enjoyed them transcendentally. Text 26. O King Parikshit, within a very short time, both Rama and Krishna began to walk very easily in Gokula on their legs by their own strength, without the need to crawl. Purport. Instead of crawling with their knees, the babies could now stand up by holding on to something and walk little by little without difficulty by the strength of their legs. Now, these activities, these pastimes, appear just like a baby pastimes. See? So this is why we've heard the first 9 cantos of the Bhagavatam, to understand just who Krishna is that's crawling around and, making everybody laugh and acting like babies. Text 27. Otherwise, we'll just think they're ordinary babies and we'll think nothing of it. Thereafter, Lord Krishna, along with Balarama, began to play with the other children of the cowherd men, thus awakening the transcendental bliss of the cowherd women. Purport. The word Saharama, meaning along with Balarama, is significant in this verse. In such transcendental pastimes, Krishna is the chief hero, and Balarama provides additional help. Text 28. Observing the very attractive childish restlessness of Krishna, all the gopis in the neighborhood, to hear about Krishna's activities again and again, would approach Mother Yashoda and speak to her as follows. Purport. Krishna's activities are always very attractive to devotees. Therefore, the neighbors who were friends of Mother Yashoda informed Mother Yashoda of whatever they saw Krishna doing in the neighborhood. Mother Yashoda, just to hear about the activities of her son, stopped her household duties and enjoyed the information given by the neighborhood friends. Text 29. Our dear friend Yashoda Your son sometimes comes to our houses before the milking of the cows and releases the calves. And when the master of the house becomes angry, your son merely smiles. Sometimes he devises some process by which he steals palatable yogurt, butter, and milk, which he then eats and drinks. When the monkeys assemble, he divides it up with them, and when the monkeys have their bellies so full that they won't take any more, he breaks the pots. Sometimes if he gets no opportunity to steal butter or milk from a house, he will be angry at the householders, and for his revenge, he will agitate the small children by pinching them. Then when the children begin crying, Krishna will go away. Purport. The narration of Krishna's naughty childhood activities would be presented to Mother Yashoda in the form of complaints. Sometimes Krishna would enter the house of a neighbor, and if he found no one there, he would release the calves before the time for cows to be milked. The calves are actually supposed to be released when their mothers are milked, but Krishna would release them before that time, and naturally the cows would drink all the milk from their mothers. When the cowherd men saw this, they would chase Krishna and try to catch him, saying, "Here is Krishna doing mischief." But he would flee and enter another house, where he would again devise some means to steal butter and yogurt. Then the cowherd men would again try to capture him, saying, "Here is the butter thief. Better capture him." And they would be angry, but Krishna would simply smile, and they would forget everything. Sometimes in their presence, he would begin eating the yogurt and butter. There was no need for Krishna to eat butter since his belly was always full, but he would try to eat it, or else he would break the pots and distribute the contents to the monkeys. In this way, Krishna was always engaged in mischief making. If in any house he could not find any butter or yogurt to steal, he would go into a room and agitate the small children sleeping there by pinching them, and when they cried, he would go away. Hare Krishna. Text 30. When the milk and yogurt are kept high on a swing hanging from the ceiling, and Krishna and Balarama cannot reach it, they arrange to reach it by piling up various planks and turning upside down the mortar for grinding spices. Being quite aware of the contents of a pot, they pick holes in it. While the elderly gopis go about their household affairs, Krishna and Balarama sometimes go into a dark room, brightening the place with the valuable jewels and ornaments on their bodies, and taking advantage of this light by stealing. Purport. Formerly in every household, yogurt and butter were kept for use in emergencies, but Krishna and Balarama would pile up planks so that they could reach the pots, and would then pick holes in the pots with their hands so that the contents would leak out and they could drink it. This was another means for stealing butter and milk. When the butter and milk were kept in a dark room, Krishna and Balaram would go there and make the place bright with the valuable jewels on their bodies. On the whole, Krishna and Balaram engaged in stealing butter and milk from the neighboring houses in many ways. Text 31. When Krishna is caught in his naughty activities, the master of the house will say to him, "Oh, you are a thief," and artificially express anger at Krishna. Krishna will then reply, "I am not a thief, you are a thief." Sometimes being angry, Krishna passes urine and stool in a neat, clean place in our houses. But now, our dear friend Yashoda, this expert thief is sitting before you like a very good boy. Sometimes all the gopis would look at Krishna sitting there, his eyes fearful, so that his mother would not chastise him. And when they saw Krishna's beautiful face, Instead of chastising him, they would simply look upon his face and enjoy transcendental bliss. Mother Yashoda would mildly smile at all this fun, and she would not want to chastise her blessed transcendental child. Purport. Krishna's business in the neighborhood was not only to steal, but sometimes to pass stool and urine in a neat, clean house. When caught by the master of the house, Krishna would chastise him, saying, "You are a thief." Aside from being a thief in his childhood affairs, Krishna acted as an expert thief when he was young by attracting young girls and enjoying them in the rasa dance. This is Krishna's business. He is also violent as the killer of many demons. Although mundane people like non-violence and other such brilliant qualities, God, the absolute truth, being always the same, is good in any activities, even so-called immoral activities like stealing, killing, and violence. Krishna is always pure, and he is always the supreme absolute truth. Krishna may do anything supposedly abominable in material life, yet still he is attractive. Therefore his name is Krishna, meaning all attractive. This is the platform on which transcendental loving affairs and service are exchanged. Because of the features of Krishna's face, the mothers were so attracted that they could not chastise him. Instead of chastising him, they smiled and enjoyed hearing of Krishna's activities. Thus the gopis remained satisfied, and Krishna enjoyed their happiness. Therefore, another name of Krishna is Gopi Jana Ballabha, because he invented such activities to please the gopis. Text 32. One day, we'll stop here. One day is that's for tomorrow. Tomorrow is one day, another day. Hare Krishna. Krishna's childhood pastimes. The sweetest things. Okay, time for our magical open mic program. Hare Krishna, Dr. Damodar. See you later. Yes, Sarva. Start us off.
In the purport of text 15, Srila Prabhupada kind of says a charming thing. He says, unfortunately, the living entities, because of their little independence, the living entity wants to deprogram the program of Krishna. This is the material disease.
Yeah. Trying to deprogram the program of Krishna. Go ahead, Sarva, you're going to.
Well, I mean, it's really what, and in the modern time there's all these cyber thieves who try to use internet programs to do devious, to be the controller and, things like that. So it seemed like a nice play of words that Prabhupada does.
Yeah, deprogramming the program. You know what the latest thing is? You know what the latest thing is? Well, fake news. You know what fake news is? When they put out some news thing that looks like it actually happened and it didn't. Now they have artificial intelligence. And with programs, they can actually make your face, no matter who you are, say words that you wouldn't say and put it on the screen, and it looks like you talking nonsense. Yeah, and it's happening right now. Therefore, there's that saying, don't believe everything you see. Well, it's coming true. You can't believe anything that you see.
I think we were hearing about Shalva, and he made it look like he was cutting off
Yeah.
the head of Krishna's
Yeah.
father.
Yeah, these demons are getting their mystic powers, but they're getting them in a different way, through some kind of electronic gizmo. But the ability to do that is there in the nature. If nature wasn't capable of giving it to them, they couldn't get it. That's why this is a very nice point you brought out about the deprogramming the program of Krishna. Yes.
I was appreciating how we heard Gargamuni's astrological analysis for Krishna and Balaram, and how they are, he's saying they're almost equal to Narayana, because he didn't want to quite say it, but he said it. And so that section, and then now this section of them doing all these mischievous activities, and how the gopis are enjoying that, and how it's a source of transcendental pleasure for the whole village of Gokula. I just appreciate that juxtaposition of I guess characteristics that this is actually God. This is the absolute truth, and this is how He's giving a very, very personal type or form of pleasure to His very personal and special devotees in Braj.
Intimate is the word. Intimate, personal.
I also like that verse by I guess it's Raghupati Upadhyaya, that I don't worship the Vedas or the supplementaries. I worship Nanda Maharaj.
Crawling in the courtyard of
He's crawling in his courtyard.
Yes.
Krishna's.
Wonderful. I was also thinking about this idea about how the simplest things that Krishna did would put the ladies in just complete ecstasy, and even the cowherd men. How Krishna would turn it on him and say, "You thief! No, I'm not a thief. You're a thief." And then Prabhupada would sometimes say, "That's because Krishna was trying to tell him, actually, this all belongs to me. You're trying to steal it all, and I'm trying to take it back, and you're calling me a thief." So we should pray for the day that when we hear these pastimes of Krishna doing these childish, babyish pranks, and to get the pleasure, the kind of pleasure that the neighbors got, and that Krishna's parents got. This is spontaneous love of God. This is serious fun. It's fun, but it's serious fun in the sense that it's, revealed knowledge. Purpose of our austerities, purpose of avoiding the conch shell of Maya, and all these things, is just to come to the point of being able to relish, And then you can see the reality and the reflection. Whenever there's a baby in the room, everybody's looking, the babies are so potent, everybody can look at them. One time in Vrindavan, Prabhupada was giving a class, and all of a sudden, this baby started to scream. It wasn't in the temple room, it was outside, somewhere outside the temple grounds. But it was really like a long ways away, but the voice was it was disturbing everyone. And then Prabhupada stopped the class and he said, "You see, you can't do that. Disturb everyone like that from such a long ways away just by crying." He said, "Why?" Everybody was looking, Prabhupada said, "Because he has a different body. The baby's body is empowered. Sannyasis, when we hear the crying of babies, it's like something else, you know. It's like we're in an airplane somewhere. You've been to an airplane and there's a screaming baby right next to you. God, it's like being in a torture chamber, you know. But Krishna, when he cries, it's like magic. It's like everybody just goes into ecstasy, you know. Yes, Prana.
I had another reflection. We were in Bhagavatam class today. We were hearing about Sudama Brahmana and Vamana Dev, and it was mentioned how these pastimes are meant for instructing us. And I was thinking of what you said yesterday in the reading to Marcus, how sometimes these passages and pastimes, they certainly have instruction for us, but then on another level, they're actually meant to relish the relationship between the Lord and the devotee.
Yes.
And I was thinking that, you know, particularly in the Sudama Brahmana pastime, then there's a lot of relishable items in that, you know, this relationship between Krishna and his devotee, and but there's also a lot of instruction. And then I was thinking what we just read tonight about, you know, baby Krishna, who is just who's sucking his mother's breast, and they're seeing his teeth come in and counting the teeth, and how there's no instruction. There's no like moral instruction. There's no there's nothing else besides that relationship between the Lord and his devotee.
Bliss. There's nothing but bliss.
And it's just a
Ecstasy.
remarkable display of what the topmost platform of spiritual life is pure love of Godhead in this mood of Vrindavan.
Yes, exactly. The source of everything. Okay, we'll stop here. I've been using my voice all day, and I hear my voice. I have to do recording tomorrow because I have to dub over things that need to be redone because there was a mistake or something. So that's what we start doing that tomorrow. So I have to have a voice that's as flexible as possible. So I will take your leave and try to get to bed early so I can do it in my service to Prabhupada and to everyone else. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Oh, anything from cyberspace we don't want to forget.
I don't see anything. I don't have my phone.
In fact, I was thinking it's the opposite, because Krishna's doing mischievous activities.
Yeah.
And so it's like the opposite of moral instruction. Krishna's doing the rasa dance with other men's wives and stealing and killing.
Yes.
Prabhupada was making that point.
Yes.
That those things are actually, glorified when Krishna does them.
Yes. They become the source of transcendental ecstasy, transcendental pleasure. Okay, thank you very much, everybody. Thank you, everyone out in cyberspace. Srimad-Bhagavatam ki jai. Krishna's holy babyhood pastimes ki jai. Gaur Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol. See you tomorrow night, 6 o'clock, same place, same station. Hare Krishna, Hari Bol.